All right, what's going on, guys? Try back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the second half for The Walking Dead Season 10. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts first on Carol saying that she thought she would be killed off in the show's very first season. It's like we're in the future. So, thank you guys for all the nice comments. A few people asked, Trev, where are you? Where's the videos? I'm going to see the videos when Trev's gone and stuff. So, thank you guys. And, don't worry, guys. I'm totally fine. I'm here. I've just been trying to figure out this new camera. Finally got the new camera and just trying to get everything kind of sorted. And, whoa. Trev in 4K, right? What's going on? So I'm trying to get the sound just right because it sounds better in 1080p with certain recording software, but I'm trying to get it going in 4K, so it looks good, huh? Does it look different? Do I look different than what you guys pictured, right? It's like more 3D, right? Which is kind of cool. I don't know if I'm going to be filming it all the time because 4K is a little bit tricky to kind of deal with. It's a pretty big file type and stuff, and so it's difficult to edit. It's difficult to manage, and sometimes the audio gets thrown off and stuff. So we'll see. I might just do 1080, but even in 1080, it's going to look a lot better than it used to. So that's really cool. So that's what I've been working on this week. It's just been a big changeover to kind of get that set for you guys and to try to do that going forward, for the future of the channel. It's like I was using like a camera that was like 720p, and it's going to be 2020 here soon. It's like 720p in 2020. It's like, dude, you got to upgrade, man. It's like, yeah, I do. So we got a bunch of new items from this week that we haven't kind of given our thoughts on yet. Some good, some bad, and we'll get into that. There's some updates on the some of the lawsuits that are going on, especially the wrongful death lawsuit one. There's a lot of details on that. Probably not something we can probably talk about too much, but I'll at least give you guys the links, and we'll get into that after this. But first, let's start things off on a positive note with the Carol comments about how she thought she'd be killed off in the very first season. So I guess this is from a German Comic Con. So it says, quote, "No, I had no idea," McBride said at German Comic Con Dortmund when asked about, I guess they're in Germany right now. They watch Walking Dead in Germany. When asked about knowing Carol's future early on, it says, quote, "I didn't think she would last for 3 episodes, her first season. And then I wasn't sure that she'd survive the second season. And then we have the 10th season. Well, I can't talk about that. In the 9th season, I didn't think she would, ... You never know. So I'm extremely surprised, but I'm not surprised. And I did think that there was an article once that said in season 3 that she was supposed to be killed off. I think it was the first half of season 3, and I think it was written in and everything. And I think Sarah Wayne Callies and her, they kind of talked it through with the showrunning team at the time, and they kind of talked them out of it. Now, Sarah Wayne Callies is pretty fierce. If you guys don't know, if you haven't seen her interviews, I wouldn't mess with her. Let's just put it that way. I wouldn't mess with her. At least she seems to be on the outside, from the outside perspective, to be quite formidable. So I would not want to argue with her, or let's just say you wouldn't want to be in an HR conversation with her for anything. Run for the hills, right? Calling sick that day. Do whatever you got to do. Get out of it somehow. I got a meeting. I got something else I got to do, right? Get out of it, right? So I don't know if that's what happened. Sometimes news articles can be misleading, but if that's true, I'm happy that Lori saved Carol because I think it's awesome, and Carol is, a great character in The Walking Dead, and if that's true, her story is an amazing story, starting off by being kind of a victimized wife to an asshole, husband right off the bat, to becoming probably the strongest female in the Walking Dead series, or one of the strongest, right up there along with Michonne and some of the others, and maybe Alpha, but in a good type of fashion. Still not totally, embracing the darkness and going that way. So some strong females in The Walking Dead for sure. So I like that one, and I have no idea what the hell they're doing in Germany. So I don't know. I guess there's a lot of Walking Dead fans in Germany. I don't know. Any of you guys from Germany? Leave a comment if you're from Germany and you're watching this video. I imagine if you are, you probably wouldn't be, because then, different language and everything. So that one's kind of cool. So, okay, so we'll just get into it a little bit, but not too much, because that this is not the topic of the video or anything like that. But there are quite a few updates online you guys can read, and I'll put the links in the description to the case with the wrongful death lawsuit. for the Stuntman in The Walking Dead Season 8's first half. So I won't do an entire video to this one unless maybe we'll see how it kind of turns out, with kind of the legal stuff that's going on. There's a video you can watch of his lawyer or the family's lawyer, his family. And he's kind of giving some statements there, so I'll put the link to that so you guys can watch that through. And there's some more details about it. Austin Emilio, who of course plays Dwight in The Walking Dead, did make some comments about it because in the trial, legal official testimony. So apparently he was there when it happened. I don't know. Here, I'll just quote read what he said. I saw the whole thing. I was in complete and utter shock, Emilio told the jury Friday in emotional testimony at the wrongful death trial of the Walking Dead stuntman. Quote, it was the worst day of my life. The grasping movement became a focal point in the line of questioning among multiple witnesses. It was revealed that holding the railing was not in the episode script. Nor in any rehearsals. The character Bernecker doubled for had just been killed. So was he like a random savior or something in that scene? Stuntmans, sometimes they'll do, different characters. Like, maybe he did that character at one time, maybe another time. There was a question of whether or not he had doubled for Dwight. It doesn't sound like it. Unless Dwight was supposed to be killed off at that time. I don't know. And then somehow he survived on longer than he was supposed to or something. I don't know. And that's the thing about this is a lot of the details are kind of wrapped up because they're just coming out in legal fashion. So if you guys know the way legal stuff works is, say nothing. If any of you guys get arrested or anything like that, don't say anything. Just call your lawyer, tell your lawyer to even if you're innocent, doesn't matter. Just get your lawyer, let them do it because anything you say can and will be used against you, that type of deal. So, if you guys get into it, any situations, just lawyer, make them be there and then make your statements because anything that's said can get into trials or whatever situations, or sometimes cops could get it wrong and they could think something could happen or that you did something and maybe you didn't. But whether you're in the right or wrong, you always want to have that legal representation there. So they have to be very careful what they say, and they want to kind of lock everything up. Also, of course, we know that Dwight went from the original Walking Dead into Fear. Now, did this incident have something to do with that? I don't know. There's a lot of questions in terms of story, but as the lawyer does say, actually he's a Harris too, just like me. So we're related in some way. Back in the clan, same clan as me, right? So for the family, that he's representing the family. So it's he does. Okay, I don't know how much I want to comment on this here, but he does kind of bring in some good points, which is that it's a zombie show, so it kind of makes it look kind of silly, that kind of thing. But it is one of the biggest series in history of television, everything like that. So. And we all love it very much and everything like that. So there's that. I don't know, man. So, okay, so it's, what is it for? I don't know, 40 to 100 million, something like this. I don't know. Something to do with each year of his life, $1 million per year or something. I don't know. Emotional damages and not just economic earnings damages. I don't know. You guys can look through it. You can read through it as you want to. Obviously, it's a horrendous tragedy. They did ask him whether or not he had touched the stuntman or something like this, and something to do with grabbing the railing. He says here, absolutely not. Emilio said Friday when asked whether he or the butt of a prop gun he was holding had touched Bernecker in the moments before he jumped. I just don't know. I read on one website that it said 22 feet up. So how high is that? That's like a 2-story house. Right? So not one story, it's two stories, right? So that's high. I mean, that's very high. So I don't know. I don't know. So it sounds like he didn't touch him or anything like that. Something happened. Did he lose his footing or something on one of the, like, was he on one of those a savior type of planks? Now, apparently, or at least it sounds like it was inside the sanctuary. Possibly what I had thought of, which I could be completely wrong, was when Rick and the others are shooting up at the windows at the sanctuary in the premiere. I had thought that it was around that time that maybe when they were shooting up, there were some saviors in there, and some of the scenes were them shooting down and the saviors getting hit and then the saviors going down. Because if you watch the premiere, they shoot up pretty high, and it's kind of weird because it's like, well, what are they shooting at? And that's one of the criticisms of the season. But it's very possible, maybe, and again, I could be totally wrong here because Dwight was there too, so I don't know why Dwight would have been around. I don't know. Was he doubling for one of the saviors that had just been kind of shot up there, the windows or something? Because it was, like you said, over like 2 stories up, basically, or somewhere close to that in that vicinity. How did that work? What was the jump? What kind of platform was he on? Don't know. Have no idea. Grabbed a railing or something. Did he miss the pads? Or I don't know. I have no idea. So you guys can look through it and try to find out the details of that for yourself and what it is. We don't want to comment on it too much, but obviously a terrible tragedy. If it was like a great type of a platform or something, or maybe metal or something like that, like a factory type of deal. Did he slip or lose his footing and then kind of grab it? Because maybe it's sort of like if he had a jump to do, could he have went to go for it and then he didn't trip, but maybe he just maybe he got freaked out and his body hesitated or something like this, like his body went into a reflex mode where the fear made him grab or something when he should have just gone further, or I don't know, right? It's all locked up, so we don't know. You just have testimony from people like this, and we'll see how the whole thing ends up. Obviously, it's a terrible tragedy, and like money doesn't really matter in court. This kind of stuff, like if they win, okay, AMC has to pay, or somehow there's questions of like stalwart films that's somehow involved here. I don't know, man. It's a tragic situation for his family. It's terrible. Obviously, everybody involved would have wished it never happened, and I guess the trial is regarding responsibility, whether it was a mistake on his part or whether it was a mistake on their part, whether or not there should have been pads all around there, what are the safety precautions to these kinds of, I don't know. This is all kind of an area that I have no knowledge of, and it's terrible tragedy. So that's really all we can probably all we really should say about it. You guys can look into it for yourselves if you want to know. Obviously, I think it really taints watching the first half of TWD season 8, because you just know in those scenes, like, something here happened in real life, and it's all it's all fun stuff if it's in an entertainment series. But if it happens in real life, that's obviously totally completely horrendous, and like I said, they probably all wish it would have never happened. And I don't know if it really matters who wins or loses in court, because ultimately, the damage is really already done. Does money really do anything? No, I don't think it matters. I don't think it really does. So I don't know. You guys can look into it if you want to, and that's pretty much all I'll say about that case for what's out there in the public, or what we kind of know to be the state of it right now. So yeah. Okay, the next one is a bit more of a positive one. Kind of going back and forth here in this video, but The Walking Dead star Danai Gurira's sad farewell and Lauren Cohan's amazing return. So, quote, it's like a farewell to Michonne, and it's a farewell to Danai, and it's kind of sad to see Danai leave the show, Kaylee Fleming had said, who of course plays Judith in The Walking Dead, addressing Gurira's exit during a live stream on The Walking Dead's Instagram. So I didn't even know The Walking Dead had an Instagram. I'll have to check this out. It says, quote, she's been on for so long, and I got to bond with her a lot last year in season 9, and I'm really grateful for that. And I'm really grateful for the relationship that I got to build with her. I think it's really amazing, and I love getting to work with her. She works so hard, and she puts so much effort into the show, and she goes 110% out of everything that she does. And so it's a little bit sad to see her go, but I know whatever she does, she's going to be amazing at it, and I know she's going to follow her dreams, Fleming said. She's got to do her own thing, She's going to be amazing, and I'm super happy for her. And then about Maggie's return. So for Maggie's return, I'm excited about it. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. It's going to be amazing, Fleming said. That's all I can say. So she's excited for that. And it did also, there was another one about her wanting to do a scene with Chandler Riggs. So it says, quote, I think that seeing the bond they would have been amazing to see in seasons 9 and 10. I think that would have been so cool, because she didn't get to do a scene with Chandler because she's the older version of Judith after the time skip. The one before was played by a different actress, of course. So again, during the live stream, I got to check out this Instagram thing on Walking Dead because I haven't seen this yet. I think having a scene with him would have been really special, but that would have been really cool. So that kind of thing. So that's fun. So yeah, so she wants to do. So they could bring him back at some point, and they probably should, right? They probably should bring Chandler back for something. I'd like to see him, if they don't bring him back for a Judith scene as a hallucination or something like that. He's a bit older now, but they could probably still make him look like he's in season 8. You know, sometimes they make people look younger and stuff like that. They can figure it out. They can do it. Or I'd want to see him maybe in the Rick movies for Rick, even just a part of his mind or something like that. I think that would be really, really cool. And I hope that's what we'll see. So I don't know. I guess we'll see if we do see Chandler ever kind of return to do even a Carl cameo or something. But I hope so. I hope we do. A mortician criticized The Walking Dead zombies as being inaccurate and too skinny. So we get official critique of the way the zombies look on The Walking Dead, and apparently they're inaccurate or they're too skinny. Well, here's the thing, right, is that the zombies that we're seeing right now are like 10 years after, or most of them are 5 to 10 years after they probably became zombies. So they're probably deteriorating and decaying down. So personally, I think they look perfect for what you'd want. If you look at the zombies earlier on, such as... spoiler warning, 7 years running, Merle or Milton or some of those type of zombies, when they're fresh turned, they're pretty beefy, they're pretty big. You know, they're just pretty much the same as you would be when normally, only that they've just recently turned. But over time, all the zombies are going to decay down as they're walking around all day in the heat and no water, and they're kind of drying out and everything. So I personally think that the zombies are just what you would expect to see and what you would think. They shouldn't be as plump, I guess you could say, as they would be when they've just recently turned just prior to beforehand. Yeah. And so we do have some fun ones for today, some kind of fun comments. Mattis Toll says, Morales was brought back because of you and the channel, Trev. You're a bona fide story analyst, so I don't know what that means. I'm just a fan, just like you guys, Matt. But that's true. That's one of the things that I'm probably most proud of in the channel over the 10 years is that we did do, at the end of Season 7, we did a petition. I sent it through. I never got any kind of response back from it or anything, but it was before they did filming and everything for that. Did it have an effect? I don't know. I don't have official confirmation of that. Well, actually, I kind of do, because they did say, I think Gail and her said in an interview that so many fans wanted to know what happened to Morales, they decided to do it, right? So that was for you guys, though, man. All I did was just take all of your ridiculous comments and put them in a video and then did the petition and sent it to them. And I didn't think they'd actually do it. Like, I didn't think they would actually bring him back. I figured at that point, that was it. We were never going to see the character again. But what really trips me out is not only did they bring Morales back, but Morales called Rick Helicopter Boy. Think about that for a second. Morales called Rick. So I wonder if they went back and watched some of those prior scenes, and then they were like, oh, that's how Rick survives. He leaves in a helicopter. It's perfect. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I'm not sure. You know, I'm not going to be narcissistic and take credit. Really, all I did was I took what you guys were saying as a fan base, and I just compiled it and sent it to them so that the feedback loop could be complete. Because what you want is you want to get feedback from your customers, your audience, about what they like and what they don't. And if there's something they really want to see, you should submit that feedback and send it to the right people so that they can go ahead and decide, like, okay, maybe we should address this, or we should use this for a mini storyline, even if Gimple's sadistic ass kills Morales off in the very next episode. So it worked out well, but that's one of the highlights for me of doing this with you guys all these years as a community of us online. That was so cool that they actually brought him back. They brought Juan back. So that was great, and I love that. And for me, that's something I'm personally very proud of. It's very cool. D. Wooju got mad at me. They said, you have obviously never seen Ride with Norman Reedus, or you would not be so surprised by its renewal or laughing like it's a joke to you. Have some respect, man. So I'm not making fun of Ride with Norman Reedus in my last video. That's not what I'm doing. I understand maybe they put some effort into Ride with Norman Reedus. They do. Norman's got to go around. He's got to ride around the country. He's got to go on his adventures, right? He's got to meet Dave Chappelle and do an episode with him, or he's got to go and hang out with JDM or hang out with different people and make it interesting, right? It can't just be like, just nothing. There's got to be some substance to it. But, however, it is still a show of him riding around on motorcycles. That's still what it is. So it is what it is. And I'm not disrespecting that. If you like motorcycles or you're a huge fan of Daryl, which I'm a huge fan of Daryl. I'm a huge fan of Norman Reedus. I respect his work. I appreciate his work on Walking Dead, and I think he's amazing. And I'm not making fun of it or just laughing at it, but it is funny to me that like I cover a lot of different shows, and a lot of shows don't get 5 seasons. And literally, Daryl is so over that they can literally do a show of Daryl riding around on motorcycles, and it gets 5 full seasons, maybe 6, maybe, like this many years. And all he does is really ride around on Daryl's adventures on motorcycles, and it's what it is. But I know there's a lot of people that are into bikes, so that's cool. No problem. I got friends that like to bike, and it is cool. I got to admit, it's cool stuff. And I know that it's a hobby in and of its own, and that's very cool. So I'm happy for him that he can have 2 successful shows at the same time, being at the forefront of The Walking Dead and having Ride with Norman Reedus. But and I'm not making fun of it, but I'm also saying that I do think it's funny that you can literally do a show like that, and it literally works, and it literally gets 5 full years of air. That's because a lot of times a lot of series get canceled way before that. So that's how over Daryl is. So it's what it is, man. Anyway, hope you guys liked the video for today. Some positive, happy stuff. A little bit of duality here. The Masons like this one. The checkerboard, the white and black, the checkerboard floors, right? A little bit of bright, but a little bit of very dark there at the same time. Anyway, if you like the video and hope the video looks okay, we'll have to see how it sounds and stuff. You can go ahead and thumb it up below. Leave your comments below and share and favorite. And I'll see you guys back in soon, probably in a couple days for another video. As always, it's Trev saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.